Hi Libra, welcome to your May 2018 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. Please excuse the band of shadows. It's a weird light, or maybe just a weird time of day. I don't even know what time it is. It's probably 7:30 or something. Ooh. Well, that's a nice central theme. Wow, two of the best cards. Isn't that amazing? Okay, I always pick another card when I get the Seven of Wands. Okay, now we got the Knight of Wands. So we got two. Maybe it's a Leo. I was kind of laughing to myself with that Two of Swords in the top left. That is such a Libra type of a card. You know, indecision. But you have some good cards, okay? Even if the Magician is in that reverse position. The focus is the Sun card. It does connect to Leo, but it's a card of healing, love, creativity, prosperity, success, all the brilliant things in life. So take your pick, any of those areas. Maybe you may be happy about something that is occurring for you. And actually, the fifth house is ruled by the sun, and back in mid February, there was a solar eclipse in that fifth house for you. So this may be the aftermath of that. You may have felt like doors opened when it comes to creativity, or you met somebody that you really feel is a long-term relationship, or could be. What is crossing you is represented by the Magician. In other words, what is the challenge to this? The Magician card, and of course it's number 1, so it represents, it is going to represent self-sufficiency and, sorry, I'm going to get my foot over here, so. Okay. I have to plug this in. But anyway, the sense of initiative, of starting something new, doing something yourself, being a co-creator, all of these things with the Magician card, for some reason, you're blocked from doing that. Now, let me get to this card, because this is the basis of all of this, the Moon card. It's funny that I got the Sun and the Moon. You know, the Moon card is a feminine principle, so it's like the passive part of you. And it's interesting that I got that Two of Swords, because it's like perhaps you're debating whether or not you want to be by yourself or be with somebody else. In general, I would say that this could definitely even apply work-wise, where you may feel this strong pull to be an entrepreneur, to do something for yourself. But Libras tend to like to work with other people. And I think they tend to do better when they are collaborating. However, you may just have a certain situation going on where it doesn't require somebody else, and you don't know whether or not you should just go off on your own. In relationships, perhaps there are two people involved. One person would represent the sun, and if we look at the two signs that could be behind that, we could be talking about a Leo versus a Pisces person. I do believe, well, I think that was, well, forget about that, because trying to remember these past tarot readings is not going to yield much. But the thing about it is that Libra is a masculine sign. So in general, you will tend to resonate more with a Leo type of personality, a fire sign type of personality, than a water sign like Pisces. Now, the moon rules Cancer, so I suppose you could say it would be a Cancer, possibly a Cancer. And definitely, I think, of all the water signs, a Libra might find themselves with a Cancer person. But in any case, even though you may have certain things in common with both people, I think temperamentally, or temperament-wise, you would probably get along more with the fire sign or the Leo person. And this is that card I was talking about. Why I say this is so much like Libra. Now, first of all, you are one of the swords, being an air sign. But you see the moon there, and you see her blindfolds. I think that's a woman. This is to imply that sometimes when people are making decisions, they're not making them based upon really looking at the facts of the situation. They're basing it more on their own desire to do something. And that leads to this decision that you're making that is not really taking into account all the facts of the case. Now, another thing, too, that I want to point out with the sun and the moon cards, I feel like the moon represents creativity. I mean, they always say it does. And the sun is like the career path that we would be on, where we say, I am this and I am that. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to be an artist, because an artist is somebody who is creating out of thin air. And so there's not really, it's really hard to get a degree in being an artist. You know, that's one of the reasons why, you know, it's such an alternative lifestyle. Whereas if you go and train to be a lawyer, there's like a very well laid out path for you to do that. And you just have to complete certain courses and pass certain tests, and you're in. And so you may be struggling with, you know, do I go and do this career that maybe your parents, and you could be like 40 years old or 30 years old, and your parents are still someone that you are afraid of disappointing, and who want you to do what the sun card represents. Or do you do what's in your heart, you know, what is in your emotions, what your emotions tell you to do? So it may be head over heart, or whatever you want to call that sun card. And definitely when we think about the sun and the moon in astrology, one is more of that, our place in the world, I would say, in terms of our profession. And the other one is our inner life. And we have to honor both, I feel, at the end of the day. And Advice is the Knight of Pentacles. This is a very practical card. It's actually associated with Taurus. So it's about just getting up in the morning, going to work, doing what you need to do. And maybe, you know, I just thought of that saying, chop wood and carry water. And just doing what you need to do. Maybe you don't need to figure it all out right now. Maybe the meaning of your life can be put on hold until you get a better, I don't know, vision for it. Maybe there's just some confusion right now. That's okay. It's okay to be confused as long as you're working towards clarity. What's coming in is represented by the Five of Wands, and this is a card of competition. It can be friendly. In some cases, it can be conflict. Now, this would be conflict with others. This is something that Librans tend to do everything in their power to avoid. But you know something? Whatever you resist persists. So sometimes you have to just lay the cards down, pardon the pun, and let the chips fall where they may. And I think I'm mixing metaphors. But the outcome is the Seven of Wands. I did pick an additional card. And this is a card of defending yourself. So maybe, you know, sometimes I think some Librans are living a life that is not authentic. And it's not, I'm not picking on Libra. That can happen to any sign. But for Librans, the motivation is wanting to be accepted, wanting to be loved, and being afraid of rejection. And sometimes you just have to stick your neck out and, you know, declare who you really are. And the Seven of Wands is the beginning of that. It's like, even if you're confused as to what your identity is, because I think that could be what's going on here too. The sun represents your sense of self, and the moon can sometimes be confusion over what that is. So that could definitely be what's going on. The Magician card is refusing, you know, in the challenge position, is being disempowered, not knowing that you are the captain of your ship. Your cardinal sign, Libra, you out of anyone should know that you are in charge of your life. And you're the type of person who doesn't find it hard to take action, but sometimes it's not about the actual action, it's about which direction to go in, and feeling like confused, and that's what the moon card could represent. But maybe you have to make some waves. It's not the end of the world. If other people, it's not anyone else's life but your own. And I picked an additional card, and I got the Knight of Wands. This is a card of, sometimes it's a little chaotic, but it's also a card of bravery, of being a warrior. Really, not only are you defending who you are, and maybe even defining who you are, but also having the courage, which I associate with the Knight of Wands, to, you know, carve your own trail. And it may take you in a different place than you thought, you know, but that's okay. Because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Isn't that the case? Okay, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. My website is rainandmoonastrology.com. Take care. Bye.